Hello everybody, just when you think there are no more shows to host, you get to do Take Two, which is going to be great fun. Over the next little bit, we'll have a look at a few meetings across the provincial and country circuit in New South Wales. Narromine and Scone is where we kicked off the week. Let's try and find you a few future winners.
Scone racing, Monday the 23rd of June. We have beautiful conditions on track. We're on a soft 5. The track played relatively well throughout the afternoon, and although the rail was out in the 7 metre position in patches, I thought all in all most horses seemed to get their chance. A couple of horses I'm keen to follow. The first comes up in race 2 and it's already blue. You'll spot him from back in the field. He's in the red and white colours. He's on debut here. It was over the 900 metre course. I like what he does over the concluding stages.
Inside the 200 metres, it's Herman Said holding them at bay at this point. Tampa Bay runs into second. Hot Chestnut battles away, Flying Molly the outside, but Herman Said comes away over Tampa Bay, Flying Molly. Maybe already blue getting up for fourth.
Obviously, he was over the short course there. He was really only warming up when it was all over, but encouraging signs. That was his first day at the races. I'm sure off that, if he stays in similar grade races, he should be winning a maiden quickly. The second horse I'm keen to follow, especially in another Class 1 maiden event, is So You Ready out of race 4. Now, he won last start. He won under a masterful ride by Jay Ford on that occasion. He was given a nice run in transit again today. He looks your winner. You'll spot him in the pink sleeves with the black and white checks.
250 metres out. Bold Splendour being tackled by So You Ready. Lady Lilybet battles away. D Me gets a split in the centre now. Joshua is saving ground the inside. Pierronimo still battling away, but it's So You Ready in front. Pierronimo getting a second wind. So You Ready in front. Pierronimo is diving. Don't know. Very close. Pierronimo or So You Ready.
Obviously nabbed right on the line there. I thought he was pretty good, but the eventual winner had a pull in the weights. He was left out in front a long way from home for a horse that's only lightly raced. So being by So You Think, he seems to be relishing the trips, and I don't think it's long before you'll see him get another win on the board. So Already Blue and So You Ready are the two horses I want to follow from Scone.
Racing was at Narromine on Monday, the 23rd of June. We had a 7-race card run on a good 4 surface and under fine skies, which for this time of year we were all thankful for. I found a couple of horses that we can follow out of today's meeting that should be winning again in the not too distant future, and the first of them comes up out of race number 2, a gelding by the name of Come Boogle. Now, earlier this preparation, this horse strung 3 wins together. He's won 7 overall. He dropped back to a benchmark 58 today, and the handicapper gave him 67 kilos. He copped a 4 kilo claim, got in with 63, but was still giving several kilos to everything else in the race. He was over the 800 metres today, probably a little bit short of his preferred trip, but just look at the way he hit the line hard to finish second behind Super Sue.
Well in the straight now, and Desirous getting through on the inside. Super Sue, too darn lovely, and down the outside Come Boogle. Super Sue has just beaten Come Boogle.
I thought it was a very good effort, given that they went helter-skelter throughout there. He was back, he had to lug that weight, and he still had the temerity to finish off the way he did. The second horse to follow comes up out of race number 4. It's Major Lightning, a 3-year-old trained by Jeremy Gask over at Scone. Now, Jeremy spoke to us before the race. He said all of this family have a tendency to bungle the start a little bit. Well, that's exactly what Major Lightning did. He was out the back early. Meanwhile, up leading and dictating was Ondelay. Ondelay ultimately goes on and wins the race, but look at Major Lightning's work over the last 200 metres.
Here is Ondelay still sailing along in front. St. Philomena comes after it. Hardhead is running home well, but Ondelay, it's going very, very strong, and Ondelay had raced away here. Ondelay first. Major Lightning, big run for second.
He was really good there. Today's race was 1,300 metres. He's had 3 runs around that trip now, this preparation, and Jeremy may elect to step him up a little bit further next time. But once he learns to handle the barriers a little bit better, I don't think a win will be too far away for him. So the 2 horses to follow out of Narromine today, Come Boogle and Major Lightning.
Racing at Port Macquarie on Tuesday the 24th of June. We were under beautiful blue skies. Tracks was rated a soft 5, and overall I thought it played quite okay still.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little bit loose on top, but pretty fair as far as where you wanted to be on the day.
Okay, my horse to follow out of the meeting today comes out of race number 1. It was Exceed Me. He was having his first career start. His trials were only fair, leading into today. He began fairly, so he was given a good squeeze. It took him a little while to find the front. He's in the yellow colours.
Into the straight 300 out. On the outside, Spoiler. The inside, Exceed Me. Mirai Sanders through the middle. At the 200 metre mark, Mirai Sand works out after Exceed Me. Puts the head in front, clear of Spoiler. Followed by, of course, I Am, but it's Mirai Sand in front on debut, and it's too good today. Mirai Sand down to the post, wins by 2. Spoiler second, Exceed Me in a photo for third.
Liked his effort. He did a little bit wrong, obviously, in the first part of the race, but I thought he did quite a good job to battle on like he did. He'll take good improvement from the outing, and he was a horse that we singled out of the mounting yard.
Yeah, he looked the part. He was still a little bit new naturally, and it was just nice to see him under race day conditions because he'd been a little green in these open trials and off the bridle and chasing, but he'll take a lot of improvement off that run.
He will. Your horse to follow?
He's coming out of race 4. It was Rebel 1. Now, this horse had to go back from the gate. He turns for home, near last or second last. He's back in the white and green colours. You watch the way he closes off.
Last Rebel 1 into the straight to the 300. It skates on in front. Buck Pharaoh into the big impost of 65.5 is in pursuit. 3 lengths away, third Hot Zeno, the coat hanger. But Buck Pharaoh has raced to the front. Leads by 2.5. This is a tidy performance by Buck Pharaoh, careering away Hot Zeno to second from skates on, but a breeze to Buck Pharaoh. Buck Pharaoh beat Hot Zeno, third Rebel 1.
Now, just knowing the horse is a horse that resents racing to the inside of runners, and you could see that in the early part of the straight. He was reluctant to kick up and hold a bit of a position, but once Shea got him to the outside, he really hit the line strongly with a little bit of galloping room. Now, 2 starts ago, he was in a 2,000 metre race, but just lack of races for him. They had to drop him back to the 1,200, but if you liked his run, keep an eye out for him at Port Macquarie because it's probably one of the tracks that he appreciates racing on the best. But I think, if they can find a 1,500 for him, a similar race to what he was in today, a country boosted race, he's not far off another win.
Okay, so the 2 horses to follow out of Port Macquarie are Rebel 1 and Exceed Me.
Take 2 from Wyong on Tuesday the 24th of June. My first horse comes up in race 2 on the card from the John O'Shea Tom Charlton yard. His name, the Big Blue. It had 1 race start before today. It was in March 2024. He was off the scene for a while. He's in the maroon, the yellow cap, the Cook family colours. You watch him. He gets to the outside, and I love the way that he works through the line.
350 to go. Justice Warrior still held together. V12 just about on terms, and Our Jewel presents third, 3 wide. Then the Big Blue. Justice Warrior turns in front. V12 just about on terms. Our Jewel's in third, and then the Big Blue. Justice Warrior, V12. V12's got the lead now the last 100 metres, and V12 getting away goes on to win the short price favourite. Second close, Justice Warrior, the Big Blue out wide.
Today's run was always going to do him the world of good. You stick with him. He's got a stack of abilities by Ocean Park. He'll win races for sure. The Big Blue. My other horse was having its first start today since joining the Mitchell Beer stable. Race number 6 on the card. Demeebe. He's been gelded. A nice little break. He comes back. Holly Doonan rides him a treat. He's in the black colours. He gets into the 1-1 and gets every chance.
And Demeebe with fresh air, the run there for Zip On By now to come up out after this leader. It's One Kind in front, Zip On By, One Kind in front from Zip On By. Zip On By drew level, got it. Zip On By beat One Kind right where it counted. Demeebe's run third.
The first 2 over the line were a little bit too sharp for him today, but that run might just top him off, and I'm sure Mitchell Beer will find a nice race for him. So stick with him. He's a nice horse, Demeebe. The 2 horses today from Wyong, from the John O'Shea Tom Charlton yard, the Big Blue out of race 2, and Demeebe, race 6 from the Mitchell Beer yard. Take 2 from Hawkesbury on Thursday the 26th of June. My first horse is in race 2 from the Kerry Parker stable. His name is Wild Thoughts. He was beaten by a pretty smart one today, and he was beaten on his merits. He jumps, he settles back in the second half of the field. He's in the proven thoroughbred colours, the black with the green disc. Now, the winner's off and gone. This bloke's by So You Think. He gets to the outside, and I think he works home well.
200 metres left to go. 3 from Wild Thoughts, then Run the Red Light, Makima, but Cold Brew, get in the queue if you're on the favourite. 50 metres left to go. Cold Brew, easily done, and 1 by 6. Second, Wild Thoughts.
He had plenty of improvement to come, Wild Thoughts. He's from a very good stable. He's only going to improve with that run under his belt, and maybe even another one as he steps up in trip. The next one I want you to watch, I just want to watch it again, just for old time's sake, because I think this filly might be winning some nice races. Her name is Evaristo. Thank you in Greek. She was first up this afternoon for 19 months in the blue of the Godolphin James Cummings stable. She gets back, and when she lets rip, she destroys them. Here she comes.
300 to go. Exotic in front from She's a Siren. Here's Efaristo starting to really hit top gear out wide. Exotic in front, not for long. Efaristo moved up, grabbed the front, trying to go with it is Zing to Me, but 50 to go. Efaristo's racing clear, and she's too good, Efaristo.
Efaristo, you mark her down. She'll be figuring in carnivals over the next 2 or 3 years from the James Cummings stable. The two horses from Hawkesbury this afternoon, Wild Thoughts from the Kerry Parker stable and James Cummings, very good filly, Evaristo.
Friday racing at Wollongbar on the 26th of June. Beautiful conditions and great to be back here too. We were here on Sunday and they had a quick back up within the 4 days, but I thought that track did a really good job from Sunday to today.
Yeah, definitely, Gary. It was chopped up quite badly on Sunday and I was quite surprised that it did dry out very well when I walked it. I was quite happy with it and to be fair, the track played pretty fair right through the day.
What do you like, mate?
Yeah, my take two comes out of race 2, number 5, Master Artist. You're picking up in the Stephen Lee colours, the orange with the black cap. He's box seated behind the leader.
They come around the turn. Zoo and Me showed the way to Master Artist and skipped away coming to the furlong pole. To nearly on out wide is letting down now. Master Artist quickly reeled in Zoo and Me. Baron the inside, favourite the outside. Dier Leon driven hard, got there in the last bound. Dier Leon beat Master Artist.
Good run.
Good tough run. This horse previously raced down at Wagga and Gundawindi, and he was getting way out of his ground. And Jason Huxtable rode him today, and we spoke to him before the race, and he was keen to put this horse up on the speed today. I thought this was a super run. When you see this horse get to 6 furlongs, I reckon he's going to be very hard to beat.
Well, he was first up 9.5 months. Yep. He hadn't had a trial, so you're bound to improve off it, isn't he?
It was the thing I like with him today, Gary, is that his previous runs he was getting out 15, 20 lengths from the leaders, and today they've put him into the race. So I reckon he'll be ready to go in a 6 furlong race very shortly.
Right out. Well, mine comes out of race 3. It's I Object. He lost his way last preparation. He's had 2 runs back this prep. This is in coming to the corner. He was 3 deep the trip. He's in the gold and black.
They're rolling around the bend for home. Make it so. Led Snow Falcon. I Object. Bravely's back to the inside. Make it so. Past the furlong pole in front. Bravely driving up along the inside. They're clear of Snow Falcon. Bravely got to Make it so. Bravely's going home too well. Bravely beat Make it so. I Object.
That horse did a tough down the back. He was 3 deep the entire journey. Yeah. He was the widest down the running, and all he kept doing is attacking the... Like I said, he'd lost his way last preparation, but obviously this prep he's come back a lot better.
Definitely, that run at Grafton prior is just showed that he's back to his old form, and I spoke to Emily Farr after the race actually, and she was a bit disappointed in herself that she didn't kick up and go across to the lead, and she was kind of stuck 3 wide. She thought the horse could have run a little bit closer, so hopefully next time he gets to the front.
Right up, you're following out of race 3, I Object.
Yep, Master Artist for me.
There are our Take 2 horses coming out of Wollongbar's meeting Friday, the 26th of June.
Tamworth Racing, Friday the 27th of June. We had a showcase meeting. We were really lucky with conditions, although it was chilly on track. It was a beautiful sunny day. We got an upgrade in the track from a soft 7 to a soft 6 throughout the afternoon. And as you can expect with showcase money, there was good quality company, and I've found a couple I want to follow, but I'm sticking with race 3, number 1, a colt. You'll spot him in the green and yellow Neil Werrett colours, and he made pretty easy work in maiden company here this afternoon. I'll watch how easy he does it.
Well, a colt roll to the top now at the 200 metres mark. A colt now leads the way by 2 lengths from Miss Heroic flat to the boards, and then followed by Dartbrook, but a colt looking good inside the 50. A colt too good, and that's why it was the short price favourite.
Now, speaking to Cody post-race and pre-race, he couldn't have been more glowing with his comments for this horse. I get every impression that he has a lot of time for the galloper. And really, he's won with a leg in the air there today. So although I don't think he beat much, I think there's plenty more under the bonnet, and I want to follow him wherever he goes. So I'm with a colt, but you like one in race 4.
Yeah, I do. A mare by the name of Itchy Car. She was second up from a spell today for the local trainer Sue Grills. Now, she resumed over the 1200 at Moree this preparation. Ran well there when finishing second. She bombed the start today. She runs on really well over the concluding stages. You'll see her in the white colours with the blue and yellow sleeves. I thought she was fantastic late.
Into the straight, 200 metres left to travel, and Spandex roll to the top, puts the head out in front now from Halle B, and then came Gaznati, but Spandex coming clear in the shadows, and Spandex wins from Halle B, tight for third, Gaznavi on the outside of Ichika.
The winner of that race, Spandex, was given an absolute peach by Aaron Bullock, as he gave most of them throughout the course of the day, sat up outside the lead there and was too good. Meanwhile, poor old Ichika was out the back, had bombed the start, ultimately finished fourth. I thought it was a really good effort from a horse that was second up, going straight to the 1400 metres. And Sue Grills has got some options with her, whether she wants to keep her at that trip or even maybe stretch her out again. But I don't think a win will be too far away for her.
Yeah, I agree. And what adds more credence to that is it was leader dominated. They only walked through the mid stages, so she's done an amazing job. So the two horses you want to follow out of Tamworth are a Colt and Ichika.
Racing was at Maria on Friday, their first meeting for a little while, 8-race program, raced on a soft track. Some nice performances coming out of the maiden races, and Kayla's found one from the Keith Dryden and Libby Snowden stable that looks quite progressive.
Yeah, I quite like her. Her name's Bardette. Now, she was only at start 4 today, and all of her runs have been very similar. She settled worse in midfield and keeps finding the line, but she stepped out in trip today. And as we pick her up in the straight in the yellow colours and the white sleeves, you could argue she was slightly unlucky. Whether she picks up the eventual winner, I'm not too sure, but I thought she was excellent to run on into third.
100 metres left to go, 3 in front, Shine Like It Does. Sawmill ran to second from Darkin in Chira, and Bardette, when it's all home, is flooding home, but Shine Like It Does led throughout. Sawmill second, Bardette got home into third.
Not beaten far at all in the end, and she looks like she's only going to get better getting out over a bit further, where hopefully she can travel a bit closer in the run, but I think she's really working towards her maiden win.
Yeah, her previous start she was well beaten, but still found the line quite well.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bardette is Kayla's take 2 horse out of this meeting. Maria, my horse, is a little progressive filly from the Nick Olives debut, All Adored. It's making his debut today. Now, a well-bred horse, her trial before this was really good, and I thought she showed a lot of tenacity behind a pretty handy winner of Terry Robinson's, who was only having its third career start in Xanadu Miss, and the second horse is quite... Isn't it? Once he had 4 starts...
Follow all 3 of them, actually.
4 starts for 4 seconds, the second horse, Sir Franklin, but this All Adore, it's got a bit of ability, and we've seen Nick produce a couple of handy maidens that go on. I think this horse will win its next start or two. You got to remember, she's nearly 3, but she was taking on the older season horse with more experience, but I thought she was pretty good. We pick her up in the blue and red. She's trying her hard out in third position.
150 to go. Xanadu Miss, Sir Franklin. They're still at it. Xanadu Miss in front from Sir Franklin. Xanadu Miss from Sir Franklin. Xanadu Miss pulling out plenty. Xanadu Miss will lead all the way from Sir Franklin. First 2 round the corner, first 2 past the post. All the doors run third.
Good effort, wasn't it, for a young and inexperienced horse? She's got breeding on her side with the right stable, and she can only improve off that. So my horse to follow is All Adore for Kayla. It's Bardette out of this meeting from Maria.
Racing at Newcastle on Saturday the 28th of June, we had overcast conditions. Track was rated a heavy 8. They were using the outer part of the track, but all in all, I think we found a few nice horses to follow out of the meeting here today. The first of those comes up in race number 4. It was Escar Goes. The colt by Capitalist was having his second career start today. He settles up outside the leader, just wants to overdo it in the middle stages. He races incredibly greenly over the final stages in the yellow colours.
They run towards the 200. Escar Goes, the immediate danger. Tambelow is still whacking away. There's no Frankie's Boy. Auditory late the outside, but Loving in front. Escar Goes out wider is coming. Loving and Escar Goes, they come away. Loving on the inside, doing better than Escar Goes. Loving gets in. Loving over Escar Goes.
As you can see, he's a horse still learning his craft. He really wanted to throw it away over the final stages, but I do think he's going to be a nice horse to follow into the future when he irons out those few little habits over the final stages. The other horse to follow out of the meeting today comes up in race number 6. It was In Summer. Now, this mare was resuming off 2 trials. She gets a beautiful trail just in behind the speed. She looms up like the winner, and condition gives out late.
In Summer is quickly after it. Back on the inside now. Crop Duster's got plenty of room to come through, and they get away from Etched in Time. In Summer hit the lead. Crop Duster is coming after it the inside. In In Summer in front. Crop Duster goes to it. Crop Duster charged away from In Summer inside the last 100, and Crop Duster wins over In Summer.
It's well documented she's going to be a far better horse when she gets out over a little bit further. So really looking forward to when she steps out next. She had some improvement to come in the yard physically, and she'll be very competitive at her next start. The two horses to follow out of the meeting today here at Newcastle are Escar Goes and In Summer.
Sunday racing at Coffs Harbour, 29th of June. Absolutely brilliant to get back here at Coffs Harbour. And not only brilliant to see this track a lot drier and playing pretty fair. I know it's playing a little bit up on speed, but we're not seeing horses get to the outside, are we?
No, certainly. So it's playing against how we usually expect it. But that fence definitely looked the place to be throughout the afternoon.
Which way they played like that last meeting, but I just love the way it's nice and dry now and they're not getting out the outside
They won't know
fence.
themselves.
No, won't either. You found a nice one in race 3.
Yeah, on debut for the new Osborne stable. Her name is I Am Steffi. You'll spot her in the green and black colours. Now, she had to do a lot of work early to overcome the draw. I thought she was brave late.
And on the outside, I Am Steffi, Match Motors, BB, Jet Newman back to the inside. Prince Rupert tries to get underneath it. Into the straight they head. It's to Lucy just in front. Over BB second, I Am Steffi, followed by on the inside was Prince Rupert. Now racing to the front is BB. It starts to race clear Prince Rupert to second, but BB in front. A heady ride from Jet Newman. BB first. Might be to Lucy second in a photo with Prince Rupert, and also there I Am Steffi.
She boxed on good.
She did. I thought she was tough. She came here without a trial this preparation. She only had the one trial prior. She was a cracker to look at in the yard. There was plenty of her. So just the fact that she had to really work from the gate probably brought her undone. But if not, I thought she deserved a place.
Yeah, mine comes out of race 4. It was So You Think It's Over. He'd been struggling in this preparation, but all that has been on very, very wet tracks. The first day he got to a better track here today, and he's got ability. We'll pick him up coming to the corner. He's in the red, white and blue with a white cap, sitting in behind the 2 leaders.
Into the straight to the 300. Dark Stratum cuts back to the inside. Leads Hurricane Harlow by a half length. It's closing. Followed third by So You Think It's Over, Rocker Steiner. And from near last, Monty Tiana. But Dark Stratum has raced away. A length and a half in front over So You Think It's Over. It's Dark Stratum in front, holding So You Think It's Over. Dark Stratum beats So You Think It's Over.
I like what he did down the running, that horse, and I know he's got the ability, but like I said, this time he's just hit very, very heavy tracks and he's floundered through him, and that's the true So You Think It's Over. So he could be getting close to a win, providing our tracks stay on top of the ground.
Yeah, much better here this afternoon. So the two horses coming out of Coffs Harbour are I Am Steffi.
So You Think It's Over. They're our Take 2 horses coming out of Coffs Harbour meeting on Sunday the 29th of June.
Racing was at Dubbo on Sunday the 29th of June. It was Winter Country Classic race day, 7 races on the card. Typical winter race meeting, run on a soft 6. It was cool, but the weather held off and we raced under fine, sometimes overcast skies, but overall the main thing is we got through without any rain. Found a couple of horses that we can follow going forward out of the meeting today. Now the first of them comes up in race number 2 on the program. A filly by the name of Ziggy Rose, trained by Danielle Seib down at Goulburn. She was here chasing a $100,000 Inglis bonus. The problem was also chasing that $100,000 bonus and drew much better. From the barrier, Pierre Bouvelan just went back, minded his own business. Meanwhile, Aaron Bullock gave Considered an absolute peach. Considered ultimately wins the race for Cody Morgan and Aaron Bullock, but just look at the way the grey filly finishes off over the concluding stages.
It is Considered sailing along in the lead, well clear. Epic Statement runs home well with Ziggy Rose, but it's Considered. Considered beat Ziggy Rose.
Yeah, Aaron Bullock just had Considered in the perfect position. The barriers really told the difference there. It was no fault of Pierre's. He just had to go back from the extreme outside gate. But I thought the way she finished off there was very good, especially considering she'd only had the one trial leading into today and she was first up at the 1,400 metres. So I think she might be in for a good preparation. Wouldn't think a win is too far away for Ziggy Rose. The second horse to follow coming out of today is a mare by the name of Jet Empress, trained by Michael Mulholland, who's had no joy here today at all. He had Chemis to go under by a narrow margin in the staying race, and then Jet Empress, she goes under by a narrow margin here in race number 6 on the card. She was first up from a spell today. She does go well first up as a rule. When she loomed halfway down the straight, she looked all over the winner, but Midnight Dream, which had the race fitness under its belt, just got her over the concluding stages.
Jet Empress is coming down the outside. Come Burgle Stair and still came. That's better. Jet Empress raced up on the outside. Destiny Bounty. Midnight Dreams coming with a late run. Jet Empress greased a narrow lead. Midnight Dream is starting to flash home. Jet Empress in front. Might have just won Jet Empress.
I thought it was a really good performance and a good ride there by the apprentice Izzy Neal. She had a tricky barrier to overcome there, Jet Empress, but the effort was still good. On the quick back up there, Midnight Dream was able to get the win again. That's 2 wins in 6 days. But wherever Michael Mulholland takes Jet Empress, as long as she's over that 1,000, 1,100 metres, she's going to be very competitive. So the 2 horses to follow out of Dubbo today, Ziggy Rose and Jet Empress.
All right, hopefully we've found you a few there. Fingers crossed they'll be winning at their next start. If not, of course, you can tune into Black Bookers where they really find winners, 7 p.m. on Sky Thoroughbred Central every Thursday. Catch you next time on Take 2.